Towering over the Portland, Oregon skyline is the 11,000-foot-high dormant volcano, Mount Hood. Thousands flock to this peak each year, making it one of the most heavily climbed mountains in the world. Today, local firefighter Dennis Butler is among the climbers enjoying the challenge. But Mount Hood has a dark side, and right now, it's showing.
My first indication that something was wrong was just the sound of the ice falling down from above us. I had joined a group of climbers that were attempting to summit the mountain that day, and we were making our way up the mountain when two other groups of climbers actually struck one of our roped climbing teams, and the three teams went into the large crevasse towards the top of the mountain.
Over 20 feet deep and 50 feet from end to end, the crevasse known as the Bergschrund has just swallowed up 9 of the climbers. 6 of the mountaineers are still alive, desperately waiting for rescue. Among the fallen is 15-year-old novice climber Cole Joyner. And his father, Cleve, has no idea if he's okay.
There was this big wall of like snow and ice just coming down, and that kind of hit everybody, and put my head down, waited for that to clear, and then I looked up. And then Dennis sat down in the crevasse, and of course my first response was, "How's Cole?" He said, "Well, I can't see him."
A firefighter as well, Cleve instinctively dials 911 on his cell phone while his son's condition remains unknown. The dispatcher quickly contacts Steve Rollins of Portland Mountain Rescue, a volunteer rescue organization.
Well, I was at work when I got the page, and the initial call was that 7 people had fallen in a crevasse on Mount Hood, and I knew it was a very urgent rescue.
Rollins and his crewmates waste no time getting to the injured. They arrive to a chaotic scene. The climbers have already pulled most of their teammates out of the gorge, including an extremely fortunate Cole Joyner.
I feel very lucky to be alive. I was able to come out of the crevasse without a scratch, and 3 other people died within like 5 feet of me.
Helicopters begin airlifting out the more critically wounded, while Steve Rollins prioritizes who will go next.
We still had 2 additional patients that needed to be evacuated. We had a helicopter inbound moments away, so we really had to get organized quickly.
Local, state, and even military resources are utilized to continue the evacuation. But when the 939th Rescue Wing of the Air Force Reserve swoops in to pick up the last of the patients, there are problems almost immediately.
The Pavehawk helicopters, which we use for high-altitude rescues up there, they're very heavy aircraft. Operating at 10,000 feet, they're somewhat near the limits of their abilities.
Suddenly, the Pavehawk's massive engines start to whine. The 10-ton chopper veers left. Rescuer Tracy Rosenberry recalls what happens next.
It was deafeningly loud, ice was blowing everywhere, and I had my head down, and then all of a sudden it went totally silent.
The helicopter's rotor blades bite into the ice and explode. As the aircraft tumbles, one of the crewmates is thrown from the cabin and the chopper rolls over his body. The Pavehawk finally comes to rest, and everything is still.
Couldn't really believe what I was seeing. You know, even though it's in the forefront of my mind, I had friends on that aircraft. To see good friends thrown out on the snow and know that you may be watching them die, you know, I don't know any way to put that. But as a rescuer, you know, you really have to keep your head together and focus on the task at hand.
Rescuers surround the downed Pavehawk. The mood is grim. It seems unlikely anyone could have survived. But not only is everyone alive, most of the crew escaped with only minor injuries. Even the man who was thrown clear is still breathing, though he's in critical condition. Still, if it wasn't for the pilot's quick thinking, things could have been much worse.
The way that he crashed the helicopter saved probably everybody's life up there.
A second rescue effort begins. This time, to help the men who nearly died doing their duty.
To see people like that you respect so highly, and now suddenly they're helpless and they need you to rescue them, it really turns your world upside down.
Soon, all of the injured are off the mountain and rescue crews are on their way home. But on a day when some lives were tragically lost, everyone involved knows it was only a combination of skill and good fortune that allowed even more lives to be saved.